Granger, they just gotta remember that Team Indonesia are not shy to reveal some of the tricks up their of their sleeves, right? The witty, Lolita, the first phase Baxia that can be flexed into both jungle and roam.
You know what? I concur. I think more so the Moskov, because even Zing found it hard to position himself and to make it into fights at the right time as the Granger. He's not used to just walking up. I think this young man likes to come in fashionably late. So the SOD might actually be the game changer for him. Now going into the draft, we see Assassins taken out first. That is the Fanny and the Lancelot. Cambodia on the play. I wonder if they'll try to get this Yusun Shin through. If they'll ban specifically so that the Yusun Shin sneaks through to make it into blue 1.
Yeah. Like in game 1, Team Indonesia did let the Yusun Shin through, right? And Detective had one of the best games. And this time they ban out the Jusin again. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Hesky's Jusin has caused some big problems for the front line, even for people like Detective and Boxy is not easy to navigate. But I do like how Indonesia is respecting the Yusun Shin. They're not going to take any chances.
Okay, this rarely happens, folks, that the Lancelot and the Yusun Shin are banned in the same side. But the message is clear, all right? Ju would rather not deal with Detective on either of these heroes. So we will see a different pick. Cambodia now, 1-1. Oh, 1-1 is still at large. 1-1, Baksha, the usual suspects.
The one hero that was banned out, third pick for both games for Indonesia was the CC. So let's see if they go for that again. If the 1-1 gets let through, I mean, it's one of Xing's comfort, right? We've seen Xing on that 1-1. He loves it a lot. But CC banned out by Cambodia this time.
So this ensures that at least that maybe the 1-1 makes it through now. The Farsa, the Baksha. So does Cambodia steal the Baksha? Do they do that here?
I think they can. If they don't, what else? I mean, Hayabusa for the jungle. If not, they can take Farsa, I guess. So they do take the Baksha away. High commodity.
Now what? Liquid, and in this case, Team Indonesia have played with the Baksha all through games 1 and 2. How do they answer for this missing piece? They're one of their comfort picks in the draft, whether it be in Rome or in the jungle. Farsa X, Farsa something would be good here in the first phase for them.
Yeah, Farsa. I mean, the Kalea is still open.
Farsa Kalea is a combo.
Kalea. Yeah, it's a very easy to execute combo. Great kill pressure. They could consider that. I mean, there really isn't much option left in the mid lane. They take the Moskov. I also like this approach. It has been a very important hero in the series, Farsa Moskov.
Okay. So this is good. Again, the fact that even Zing would most likely want a Moskov more than a Granger, plus the Farsa that just covers bases in any mid-trio combo. Now Cambodia, they need to... I wonder if they're in a rush for the Granger. Or will they risk it to leave it open so that they maybe end up with a Harith or a Granger after bans?
I think they also don't want to reveal where this Baxia is going this early on. And that's one of the... I guess that's one of the traits you get if you pick the Baxia first phase. So Kalea and the Kimi... So yeah, Baxia gets revealed. It's going into the jungle for Detective. I guess they had to do it, right? Because if not, then Kalea goes over to Indonesia. Then you have a whole lot of other sets of problems to deal with.
So Kalea Kimi, this is the same combo they had in game 2. I think there's a part of them that wants to, run it back and say, we'll do that again, but better. We'll clean it up, and we'll win with this kind of lineup. We don't know where this Baksha... Well, no, we now know where the Baksha is going, for the most part. And then we also kind of know where the Kimi's going. How does Indonesia close up their first phase? Do they pick up a jungler now? Do they Hayabusa here? I think that's pretty safe. Hayabusa or Joy?
Wow. They go for the glue, okay. I mean, it's not too bad of a pick, actually. Right? It doesn't matter where the Baxia goes. And we have seen Baxia XP. It's not a thing now, but this glue basically covers all the bases. Kimi doesn't have the damage to take out the glue. Kalea and Baksa absolutely hate this hero. The glue was banned out by Team Indonesia themselves, I think, in the first 2 games.
Yep.
Now they give it over to Aran. Power to Aran in the XP.
And they get away with it.
They get like 3 more bans,
yeah, this is a
technically.
very strong red 3 pick here for Team Indonesia. Now they go to bans. I think they can start locking down gold laners. They can just take away all the good gold laners.
Like, they don't even need to worry about the Arlet, right? And in fact, they saw Team Cambodia, they banned the CC. It's like, okay, you ban the CC, this is a free glue pick. Like, there's no sandbag on the side of in this XP lane now can effectively deal with the glue. Like, you have to just concede to the fact that Aran is going to have priority and he's going to be a menace, and start thinking about how to deal with it. We've seen that in the mid-season cup as well, where glue is such a powerful pick in the right team comp, you just ruin the game.
Yep. There's the Beatrix. So I think Indonesia is allowing the Harith for Team Cambodia, knowing that the Harith will suffer. The Harith will find it hard to pick fights and flourish underneath all that pressure, underneath the firepower of the Moskov, the Farsa, and even the threat of getting a mount by the glue. Roamers, is that what Cambodia is attacking here? They take out the Gatot. What else is a good roamer these days? Oh wow, no, the Joy. So they're okay with the Hayabusa.
Yeah, so Hayabusa is the last option, at least for assassin junglers. I mean, even from the first 3 picks, and just from the bans itself, I'm already liking what Team Indonesia is bringing, right? You take out Beatrix, I mean, very clear combo with Kalea, but also the Granger that naturally builds Skypiercer, threatens the glue, when he gets enough items. With that remove, I really don't know what else is left for Team Cambodia to pick into the gold lane that can effectively win a matchup and deal with a glue. With the Claude, that's as safe as it can get.
But it's very slow. It's safe, but slow. And with a Hayabusa out there, it's even more precarious for Zing. But hey, if he can get away with it. But yeah, you're right. That is one of the better ways of damage output to try and get rid. Imagine too the anti-synergy or the benefits for the Claude if you can get the Art of Thievery from the little glueling. That's a lot of move speed for you.
It is. I mean, this interaction is pretty rare, but in the event that the Aran ends up sticking onto Zing, if he picks a Claude, then suddenly there's nothing much he could do. So they go to the Bruno.
Yeah.
So big burst damage. They want to dominate the lane and hopefully use that as a launching pad to snowball.
And then in the EXP, they run the Hilda. So that's Wadu's Hilda. Now, one more pick for Team Indonesia. Witty doesn't have a hero yet. What else is left out there? Do you Lolita once more? Because there's still, look, 2 marksmen.
You can, I think. I think Lolita isn't too bad of an option. What else is there for Witty? He could go for Witty Cho if he really wants. That's also one of his comfort picks. Matilda? I mean, it's up, but I don't think you really need that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Witty special. This is one of his favorite picks. Very comfortable with this Cho. So yeah, no, this is good. This is great because again, you could kick 2 solid targets, the Bruno or the Kimmy, and then a Hilda out of the bush is a Hilda you're not thinking about. It's a Hilda you're not worried about. So Indonesia, solid draft, very liquid coated. Team Cambodia though, we've seen him try to win with a lineup like this. Husky, are you worried about the same thing? Because this is not the Arlet anymore. This is a very honest Hilda that just stands in your face. They are I don't know if you agree with me, but they're lacking CC. They're lacking raw crowd control.
I completely agree. That's exactly my concern as well, right? In the first 2 games, they had Wadu to really be the primary, setup for the team. But now, it all lies on Boxy's shoulders. He gets a good grab. Doesn't guarantee. Move, we get initiative, and then we still have to rely on the damage output from both the Bruno and the Kimmy to get the job done. But for Indonesia, oh boy, the later the game goes, the scarier it gets for Team Cambodia.
This is the decider. Game 3 in this best of 3. Who walks away with 2 points? Team Indonesia or Team Cambodia? This is a relatively quiet start compared to our previous openers. Husky, oh wait, no, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. Wadu already in the orange side of Team Indonesia.
Yep, it is Cambodia thing after all. Pedal to the metal, forcing a flicker out of a run. I mean, that's not too shabby. They don't get the pressure Joe anymore, but they do take the beetle away. Witty shows up, provide a bit of support, but with Boxy around, it's going to help the teammates heal up. Witty taking fatal damage. First blood going over to Detective, and now they want more is Joe. Next on the chopping block, but Aran saves the teammate Shadow back in. Joe able to escape. Aran finds a takedown. Joe with the Shadow just dances around Team Cambodia, and this is just disastrous. 4 dead for Cambodia and a triple takedown for Aran.
Team Indonesia, they were able to weave through the heals that Boxy was providing. The extra sustain Wadu had by weaving in and out of the bushes. And again, Cambodia, their damage isn't as reliable yet. Now Zing is caught out between 2. Make that 3! 4!
And they give it to Kabuki too. I mean, it's almost fair to say that all 3 lanes collapse within a matter of 30 seconds. And this is definitely not what you want, right? This Cho pick, not just a witty special, but also forcing Sing to make a decision. You want Flicker or do you want Purify? It's a lose-lose situation regardless. Aran shows up, there is the SOD. Joe still has the ultimate, just shadow kills his way. Witty finds the takedown. Traction Post hits the glulet, so ends up getting nothing. It's 6 kills to 1, 2.5 minutes in. They lose you finally, but Detective is gonna end up going down. Brought underneath the turret. That's Kabuki with his 2nd kill. It's 7 kills to 2 in favor of Indonesia, Leo.
I don't know if Messi is the goal, but the first 2 minutes of this game was so messy. It was literally mayhem, chaos incarnate in the land of Dawn. Wait, am I reading this right? Is OP's first item not going to be up? Wadu, Witty, flickering out. Is OP's first item going to be a Sky Piercer?
Yeah, it feels like it seems like it, right? He has 2 expert gloves and he's not completing his boots, but he has no damage. Who are you executing? Who? That means that the only damage dealer, reliable one, is Sing, who just got his Heart's Claw, but he's not going to participate in majority of this fight. So many questions that need to be answered. Kabuki does end up going down. Kill going to Detective, but Witty finds the kick, forces out the Purify and the blast. Airstrike from the Wiseman himself. And they pick up 2. Team Indonesia again winning out the skirmish.
And how unfortunate that it's Zing who dies in that whole exchange. Again, that's why there was so much effort from Team Cambodia to send dudes down there to try and get back farm on the Zing to get him back on track. Instead, it's Kabuki who gets a couple of kills and is in a better position. They're down what now? 1,000 and change up top. The fights don't stop.
Wadu is most likely going to get executed too. Joe just presses the ultimate, shadow kills, and that is going to be a 2nd takedown for this Hayabusa. I mean, Leo, despite it being so bloody, the fact that Cambodia is less than 2k behind, I guess is not too bad in the grand scheme of things.
And the turtle spawn, let's see if they can regroup and, you know, recover from here. There's a man advantage for Indonesia, and it's already broken out.
The kick onto Boxy too. Joe gets the turtle, and unfortunately Boxy doesn't grab anyone. The SOD connects, no follow-up. Allows Team Cambodia to find a kill or 2 for themselves. They lose Oppie in the process. That's Aran with a mega kill streak, but at least Team Cambodia gets something in return.
That's a 2 for 1. Oppie for Witty and Yehezkiel. I say it's still a wash because they did lose out on the turtle. Detective throwing no caution to the wind, trying to hunt down Kabuki. And oh no, it might be the same story as game 2. Conceal from Witty.
Xing doesn't have flicker, so they just jump onto him. He's trying to weave his way in, and now the Shadow Cube bounces on the Detective. So Xing able to survive that. Witty not able to catch up, but they lose Boxy in the process, so Indonesia still gets a win.
That's a clear 1,000 and change up for Indonesia. And the map, they're just so much speedier rotating onto the map, even with Detective here. Aran finds the mount, sends him over.
Traction pulls only onto Witty. Fortunately for Wadu, he really can't do much. Opie also needs to stay safe, and well, this time Indonesia really, they don't get much in return. Feather airstrike though, it's gonna shut down Opie, who just isn't aware of where Oran is at.
Indonesia going full brawl server, and Cambodia are enabling them. Cambodia are actually walking into these fights looking for them. That is a tsunami slam onto Aran. In comes Wadu from the back. Oh, that's an unorthodox amount of discipline. They didn't pick that fight.
And there's no damage from Cambodia. Jing's soccer balls aren't hitting hard enough.
They're deflated.
They're gonna try again. Without Tsunami Sand, they still got a title strike, so yeah. Boxy gonna sacrifice his life. No, he pressed the conceal in the end to somehow survive. They find IESF, so that is a shutdown for Team Cambodia.
IESF taken out. Closing the gap, but just barely. 2,000 between Indonesia and the Khmer. One more concealed from Witty. Who's he looking for?
Finds the slow, Aran flickers forward, they want Z. He gets out of range, but the SOD connects Kabuki with the kill, and now Kabuki is out of position. Doesn't get a cooldown for his reposition, so Opie gets the punish. There's the Sky Piercer for this Kimmy. Aran walking away. Detective sees this going on, but he's a level behind Joe. This should be a free turtle for Team Indonesia. Detective will try, but in vain. Gets kicked backwards and now out of position. Pop to the Puissance takes the Eye of the Storm. Cyclone Knight gets away, and they disengage.
Consider me confused. I am not used to this kind of high octane MLBB. Just throwing bodies and catching fists. Indonesia able to make sense of it all and try and stop what was going on in the turtle, but I don't know how Detective did that. He just, it was a 1v1 and it was obvious that Zhu was actually up, but Zhu couldn't secure. That's a turtle, the final turtle for Cambodia.
And third turtle is always a lot more important too. So it is, I mean, good news for Team Cambodia. They still are 2,000 behind. They have a, a boss cup they need to deal with. Bottom lane, Boxy gets kicked back. Most of these go down to the Shadow Strike. Seeing trying his best to do damage, and now Kabuki joins in. Gets found out of position as Wado chops it in half. Seeing's gonna be the next target, and he also out of position. Double kill for Joe. Wants to look for Opie, doesn't find it, but Wiseman is catching up. Opie executes it with a Sky Piercer. Winnie over the wall, couldn't find it with a Chicken. No, Opie somehow escapes as Detective saves his mid laner.
Winnie trying to run away here. Wadu has eyes on him, has to let him go. Oh wow, Zhu was there. Zhu was just pushing.
He does have the ultimate. Can jump onto Wadu. He has max stacks. Boxy tries to save Wadu and is successful in doing so. I mean, talk about a high octane game. They still are going. They still are willing to fight. And now it's Winnie with the kick. Gets jumped on by Wadu. Winnie tries to escape. Goes down to the retribution of Detective. As both teams continues to trade body. Is Aran next. Here comes Joe and IESF. And once more, Indonesia strikes back. The SOD from downtown Team Cambodia ends up taking a big fat L in the bottom lane. There's 3 dead. Detective wanting to run away with Aran on top of him. He gets brought back, but at least he's able to roll out to safety as the Lord spawns.
Yep. Detective pressed the Puissance just to make sure. We barely caught it, but Opie gets slain 1v1 by Zhu. And this is all Team Indonesia right now. Free Lord for them as they barrel forward about 4,000 gold.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that one team is gassing out and that team is Team Cambodia. When you're constantly fighting, you start losing track of the resources on the map, of what the enemy has left in the tank. Team Cambodia, we saw that happen. They kept on pushing the envelope, forgetting that IESF and Joe are still around. Now Lord for Team Indonesia, and the goal gap start to widen.
It's currently at about 5,000 gold, barely under, as the Lord spawns in the top lane. Indonesia. This is the Brawl server. They are known as the Brawl server. I don't know what Team Cambodia was thinking. Zing is at 0 and 5. Oh, IESF gets caught.
Presence purified, but still ends up going down. Good catch from Opie. Team Cambodia finding some sort of a response. Kabuki pushing the bottom lane with Lord Empower minions. Instant conceal from Team Cambodia. They want to catch Kabuki. 4 men coming in. Kabuki only has a Purify to work with. SOE reposition. Presence Purify. Wadu takes the shot and allows Kabuki to get away. Perfect execution from the Moskov.
The MPL ID vet of so many seasons gets away from sure death. Team Indonesia continue to pick up the pace because of that attempted gank. But oh my god, Zing almost died!
And Wadu saves him by soaking up the damage from Jude. They take care of the Lord. No inhibitors in jeopardy. Team Cambodia holds on for another couple of minutes.
Because of that huge rotation down bottom, top lane got compromised. All of the turrets up there got demolished by the Lord, and with very little effort from Team Indonesia too. So now, the lead gets for sure cemented at 5k, and Team Indonesia can just keep playing the map this way. Again, they have macro superiority, the rotational speed from the Farsa, the Moskov can go from coast to coast. Cambodia have very little to gain by following that up. Yes, they have the Hilda, yes, they have the Baksha, but they shouldn't. They should just try and play defensively, put farm on Zing. He is anemic right now. He is down almost 2,000 gold. It's almost a full item.
Yeah. He just got his Malefic gun. Same as, our man Kabuki, Little Ronaldo. He also got his Malefic gun. Doesn't even need the Winds of Nature. Because as long as Zing can't touch him, he is just straight up safe. That extra range is going to help him out for sure. Indonesia, they can just keep holding this ground. It's not like Boxy will want to engage anyways. Every time Witty shows himself, it's a no-go for Team Cambodia.
And Witty here, I don't know if this has been checked last by Team Cambodia. The conceal coming in from Boxy, spots Yezkiel.
They want him gone. He presses Purify, he gets away. Detective on the case. As the fight now splits into two parts, Zing needs to back out. They find the assassination onto Oppie. Zing gets jumped on. Aran misses the engage, but there's just too much from the side of Team Indonesia. Witty can't get the kick off, but Leonardo Kabuki is just cleaning up the backline. Cambodia, they lose focus and they lose 4. Team Indonesia can just run it down.
They smell blood in the water. It's endable for Team Indonesia. Only one defender, just Detective left.
They want to crack the case, but unfortunately for Team Cambodia, today is not the day. No Sherlock Holmes moment. Team Indonesia complete the reverse sweep. It's 2-1 in the opening series in the group stage.
They can't crack the case. Instead, they crack the base. Indonesia, turn it around. Reverse sweep, 2-1. You know what? Halfway through this game, Husky, something clicked. Indonesia just stayed the course. I think this was more of Cambodia. I'm still struggling to figure out what Cambodia was doing.
The thing that Kimi picked was just not it, right? Like they give themselves kind of a bad hand. I mean, this part looked good, but Aran, he just kept healing up, and in terms of early damage, there's just too much from the side of Team Indonesia, and the fact that they already had the draft advantage, you give them a lead like that, it just makes the life for Team Cambodia so much harder.
Yeah, okay. Benefit of the doubt, like the draft, I even took at face value. I even thought to myself, this is okay, like this is winnable. But the way that they were playing, the way they were constantly throwing themselves at Team Indonesia, like a desperate romantic, like please show me attention, please love me, let me win these fights. Indonesia wasn't going to take that. Indonesia was going to give you their best. They were going to reposition, and look at this. Oh, Yezkiel gets punished, but they still get the job done because they still put Cambodia in a very weird position. So Indonesia had all of the incentive to go crazy, but Cambodia, they should have played it close to the chest. They should have been more conservative with their farm.
Yeah, and this is the straw that broke the camel's back, right? They just overstayed. They want Aran, and they end up losing 4 members in the process. So there really just a lot of things. I feel like at one point both teams sort of went autopilot and just brawl. But for Team Indonesia, they are going to win the brawl 10 out of 10 times. And as for Team Cambodia, they kept trying to push the envelope without the right ingredients. And it's clear as day that Team Indonesia just had the better recipe.
And in the series that played games under 13 minutes, Indonesia ended this the same way. Very, very quickly, 12:49, not even a chance for a comeback. Very decisive, very conclusive. Indonesia, they're in action again later. They'll be facing off against Vietnam. I wonder where this puts Team Vietnam mentally.
I mean, knowing the players on Team Vietnam, the approach is, I feel like it's going to be pretty messy as well. You know, they also are a team that likes to brawl, but a bit more systematic. Right? I just feel like in this last game, Team Cambodia, they sort of lost focus. They still played to the style that they want, but with lesser finesse. And that's something that I'm expecting that the Vietnamese teams is going to bring in later on. But for Team Indonesia, big morale boost after getting steamrolled in Game 1. They made a comeback in Game 2, and then they proceeded to steamroll Team Cambodia in Game 3 for a reverse sweep. And they, again, winning from the draft itself is already pretty indicative on how they are feeling coming into this game and preparing for the next one.
Look at this total menace. Aran, 4-0 and 15. Husky, I can't even tell you the last time I played a ranked game and that was my kill score. That was my KDA, 4-0 and 15. No one was safe. Cambodia, all of them. Even their coach, I'd say, was touched by a glueling.
On an XP lane, some more, right? Like we said, the power to Aran, that third pick glue on red side, basically sealed like 80% of the deal. There was nothing left for Team Cambodia to deal with. Like Beatrix and Granger got banned out in the second phase, which is brilliance from Team Indonesia. So again, this is if it's anything for Team Cambodia to take away from, it is a lesson, right? It's a lesson in drafting. It's also a lesson on a bit of that polish of the aggression. Right? You can play fast, but when you start overheating, that's when you start thinking about winning when it's not your time. That's where you run into trouble.
That's right. Self-awareness is key to self-progression. So I'm hoping